listening today. This is going to be so much fun. Our guests are Bootsy and Patti Collins. As I was going out the door, the phone rang this morning. It was my daughter. I said, I can't talk. I'm going down to talk to Bootsy and Patti. And she said, oh my God, Bootsy Collins. He's so fabulous and cool. Tell him I said hi. So I'm saying hi from all your fans who are really, really anxious to hear from you today.
Awesome.
And you're here to talk about your new album.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the vibe and what it's about and the title?
We'll start off with the title. The title of the album is The Power of the One. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of been coming and growing along. It started back in the James Brown days when he always said, it's on the one. Mm-hmm. And he was always talking musically. So the first emphasis of the beat was on the one. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to make sure you played on the one and then played whatever else you felt, mm-hmm. and always come back to the one. Mm-hmm. So I took that and just kind of over the years had been experiencing the real power of the one. And the one to me is the one that has created us all. And, you know, that to me is like gave each and every person that power of the one. And it's in each and every one of us. And so I wanted to, you know, express that with music, along with a great vibe and bringing people back together, mm-hmm. People working together, because I grew up in an era where you had to work with each other. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, not like today where everybody has to do things separately. You got right. your own office right. in your hand. You know, we had to rely on each other. Yeah. And so the power of the one is brought to you to, you know, start you to thinking about working with each other. Mm-hmm. And the songs pertain to that. Yes. The message pertains to that. And it's just a feel-good record. You know, it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to smile. It makes you want to have a good time and forget about the real tragedy so much that we are going through. Everybody's going through it, you know. Right. And so we wanted to, you know, give the people some kind of relief and self-express. Yes,
self-expression, for sure.
And so we think this album is the one.
I can't think of anything at this time that would be more fabulous for everybody. We all need it. We need it desperately. Yeah. So Patti, when he's working on these big albums, big projects, is he a different person or is he always the same Bootsy?
He is a different person.
Oh, wow.
Tell us about that. Tell us about person two, Bootsy two.
He is, when he's in that zone, as we say, he's one big note, musical note.
Right.
And it's something that I have to recognize as being a manager, being his spouse, and the caretaker too of our home. Right. Because everything is in-house. Yeah. So I have to recognize where he is in that space and time and let him be him. Because if I try to integrate this, that, or the other, it messes with the flow. And I know he's a very, very gifted, talented man. Soul. So I have to respect that. And, you know, I have to step back. Sometimes it's like, okay, Bootsy, William, hello, it's time for dinner. And he's like, dinner, you know, music is his food for that moment. Yeah. So you know how that is. I cooked a special dinner and he's like, it's getting cold, are you coming?
Slide it under the door.
Yeah, slide it under the door. Yeah. You can only make pancakes that slide under the door.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, it's all good. I respect him with the different times that he's going through whatever it is
Right.
to get that music just the way he wants it.
Right.
Because he lives, eats, and breathes for the fans. And
Yeah.
it's very important that the music that he's getting out comes out correctly
Yeah.
and in that time and space for them.
Yeah. You are the facilitator as well as I think probably the creative part of what he produces. You have to be part of it because you're absolutely the perfect wife, right?
Yes.
Right, Bootsy?
Yes.
Yes.
She really is.
She really
and,
is.
You know, it's funny because at the time that, you know, that all happened, you know, like we didn't know, you know, I didn't know Patti, she didn't know me, but, you know, it was like, okay, well, why come you don't know me? Everybody else knows. Everybody else knows me. You know, and it was like, that's what drew me to her was the fact that she didn't know who I was. And at that time, I needed somebody that didn't know who I was, so that I could just be me, just be that William, that guy, you know, that guy that takes out the trash.
Right.
Mama say, get on over there and take out the trash, you know. So I needed to be that guy with, you know, the one that I love.
Yeah.
And so she showed up at a gym. You know, we were working out in a gym.
Oh, is that where you met in a gym?
Yeah.
The gym.
And one of my friends came over and said, "Man, you need to meet this girl, Patti." You know, and I'm like, "No, I've had it with girls. You know, I'm done with it." You know, he's like, "No, you need to meet her." You know, so it's his fault.
Yeah, and he said the same thing to me, and I said, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Well,
but so here we are.
there you are. Oh my gosh, that's really interesting that you meet in a gym. Well, I know we'd love to talk more about that, but I know we want to talk about your new album and the different artists you have on this album.
Yes.
Well, man, I figured that, you know, since jazz was such a big influence on me, and blues and rock. I mean, it was so many different things going on at that time where you actually heard a whole lot of different music. And I wanted to take a new stab at it and kind of mix jazz with, you know, with what I was doing, the funk and blues, because it's all like deeply rooted music.
Yeah.
And I wanted to combine these things, even country, because we got Emmy Sunshine.
Yeah.
You know, we got her on there with the song Stars.
Stargate.
And
so
and
you
Taz.
have
Taz.
You have Uche.
Yeah, Uche. He's actually did American Idol.
We have a clip of Uche.
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
All right, let's see the
check
clip.
him
Let's check it out.
Okay.
All right.
Uche, don't hurt nobody. Baby, I'll do whatever it takes. I can drip on the skis if you want me to. Dallas, Tokyo, Italy, whatever you want. It's cool. Baby, I can't remember having anyone before you. So though I don't, yes I chilling out. I can drive the top of the car, looking up, staring out into the stars. Make a wish, I got it, it's yours. Would you be mine? Don't waste my time. Whatever you want, babe. Whatever you want, baby. Would you be mine? Don't waste my time. Whatever you want, babe. Whatever you want, baby. Whatever you.
That was really great. I have not heard that before. He is really, really amazing. And we also, you have a Taz.
Yes. He was a young guitarist who I have noticed, I guess, over the last maybe 3 or 4 years, and I kind of watched him kind of grow into what he is now, and I've always wanted to work with him. And some kind of way how did we get hooked up?
Well, it was the internet. You know,
Yeah,
you spotted
yeah.
him on the internet.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And you sent a message and voila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked, and then I talked to his dad, you know, because he was around 15 at the time.
Yeah.
Then, you know, then we recorded, he was like around, what, 16?
He was 16.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, we just developed a great relationship
Yep.
with
Yeah.
him and his dad. I mean, his
Yeah.
dad is like, I really admire his dad because he really takes care of him. He looks out
Yeah.
for him.
He sure
and,
does.
and make sure, you know,
Yeah.
everything is good, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
and-
we have a clip of him too. Let's see the clip.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is adorable.
Oh,
He is
yeah,
He is
adorable.
really, really cute. And so young. You include young people, which
Yes.
is really fabulous. Let's watch the clip of Taz.
All right, sounds good. Get him, Taz.
The Taz clip was great. I
Oh,
think everybody would, he's great. Everybody
Yeah.
will love that. And tell us how people can buy the album. Where can it be available? And
Well, The Power of the One is going to be available on October 23rd. So we're having this huge party, Miss Barbara, and it's going to be a virtual online show. And everyone can go to bootsycollins.com
Right.
and get your tickets. The excitement about it is we're going to have performances by George Benson, Taz, and I must say Taz is also known as Brandon.
Oh,
His
okay.
daddy
Right.
calls him Brandon, so I wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Uche will be a part of it, Branford Marcellus, Christian McBride. We got a little scene of Buckethead that's in one of
Yeah.
those videos, right, Bootsy?
That's right.
So, and guess what?
But-
Lettuce is going to
They're gonna be on the
perform.
show,
Yeah.
And a Cincinnati talent too, Emmeline.
Emmeline.
Emmeline,
Yes.
she's a
Wow,
young lady.
that sounds like you've got everybody who is everybody. That is really fabulous. But then you also now have a new project called Tales from the Boot Cave.
Yeah.
Tales from the Boot
Yes,
Cave,
yes.
yes. And you know what that is? We have so many stories that come from the studio. When an artist, for example, like Mr. James Brown came to Cincinnati before he passed away.
Yeah.
Bernie Worrell,
Tons and tons of musicians.
tons of musicians.
that actually came in and performed. We always, you know, had a camera rolling every now and then, and everybody had stories, you know, and it was either stories or it was a certain way they played. We kind of got different little things on tape, and we call the studio the Boot Cave. So it's like introducing the public to all this unseen stuff that we have accumulated, right?
Accumulated, yeah.
And we want to share it, you know, with the public, you know, because it's good, fun, groovy musician type stuff, and the kind of stuff that we do in studio, and you know how things are developed.
Sounds like you're making people, the outsiders, be insiders. And they say,
Yes.
I think we have a clip about that. Let's look at it.
Yes, let's do it.
Boo! Did I frighten you? The name is Bootsy, baby. And I want to tell you a little story about back in the day on the road with the fellas. Well, in this case, with P-Funk. All right, so this is the way it goes. We make sure we get mug shots like this because we had mug shots all over Canada. We used to have to go over there almost every day because George lived there, and that's where we rehearsed. So all the fellas in one car, all stuffed in the car, we would go back and forth over to Canada. So what was happening was we became regulars. and becoming regulars every time we came to the border to cross. You know, they had to, you know, if you looked like you was cool, you could go on through, you know, which we used to get there and we used to see everybody getting on through. When we came up, they would always just say, "Oh, it's you guys." Right over there.
That was a great clip. Great.
Yes.
Oh, you have so many interesting people. You have Tommy Davidson,
Yes.
and I was just introduced to him in film. What an interesting, wonderful guy. Tell us a little bit about him.
Tommy Davidson, we go back a long ways. He used to come to the shows in Washington, D.C. This is back in the, what do you call it? I guess it would be like 77, 78, around in there somewhere. And, you know, we became friends then and all the way up until now, but we always talked about doing something together. And we never really actually, well, actually we did do a little something, but we didn't really do it to the size that we wanted to do it at. We did a few things in the studio, but what we want to do now is like, kind of like a show, right?
Yeah.
And, you
You
know,
want to reveal the name?
He is like, he's a comedian.
yeah, but you know, he's a comedian, but at the same time, you know, in his growing up experience, he knows, I mean, he's got a lot of wisdom going on that, you know, and then he also knows my songs better than I do. I mean, he can sing the riffs, you know, the guitar, the bass, the horns. I mean, you know, and he's that kind of guy. He just, you know, he just studies things until he gets it down.
Sounds like he is multi-talented, as you are. You're great.
What?
Can we've got a clip of him.
Oh,
Let's see that so people
yeah.
know who he is.
That would be great. That would be great.
It's funkin' funny, baby. I'm the funk and he's
The funny bobble.
watch out, baby. Hallelujah, Baba.
Hallelujah, bobble.
Yeah.
Patty, you had a name you were going to reveal. Who is it?
Yes, Miss Barbara. In 2021-22, we will be doing Funk and Funny with Tommy Davidson.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
In a album or?
Well, it will actually be something that we'll take out on the road.
Yeah.
So we do where Tommy will be doing the funny part.
Yeah.
And we'll bring the funk with some music, dancing, a little Bootsy wine that we have as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like so much fun. Okay, we're going to stop for a second. And when we come back, we have some more questions for you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Mrs. Collins has become Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint.
Tell us about your costume and your role change here.
Absolutely. Well, I represent the Bootsy Collins Foundation. We started about 2010 when we launched.
Yeah.
But Princess Peppermint Patty, I represent the Groovement Girls, which is our girl program. And I went out one day and I had this on and this little girl said, "Oh my gosh, you're a princess. When is your show going to debut?" I'm like, wow, maybe next year.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've just been really blowing the whistle on bullying, which is part of us. We literally do that.
Yeah.
So we go to schools, we speak, but the bottom line is we lift the self-esteem of one another through music, the arts, or whatever they do in their world.
Yeah.
And we work with girls all around the world. So, Miss Barbara, we'd love to have you as a Groovement Girl Ambassador.
Oh my gosh, I'm signing up right now. Oh, what a fabulous experience. I think your focus on bullying is the most important. Oh my gosh, that is so important.
Yeah.
And you've got to start with the kids.
Yeah.
You have to start with them as young as possible.
Yeah.
And you go into the schools and talk to them and
Yeah, so actually right here in Cincinnati at Taft Elementary, they did a pilot and it was with the health gap, closing the
Yeah.
health gap.
Yeah.
So right now, we actually have a program going on, like during gym time.
Yeah.
They talk about the bullying program.
Yeah.
So we find, though, that most children, if they are bullying, it's because something is going on in their life.
Mhm.
And if you can get to the root of that
Yeah.
and have them express that,
Right.
it comes through to where, you know,
Yeah.
it's really something going on in my life, and I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's so, so important. But there's so many things we want to talk to you about. How about telling us about King Records?
Wow.
King Records,
That's, yeah.
1540 Brewster Street, right, Bootsy?
That's where I started. That's
Mm.
exactly where I started. King Records was always a place where all the stars came, you know, to record. And we were in school, but at the same time, it was like, as soon as school was over, we dashed over to King Records just to see who was coming in to record, you know. And, you know, you got James Brown, you know, you got Hank Ballard, Isley Brothers. I mean, it was just, the list just goes on and on.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to just see these stars.
Yeah.
And one day we got hooked up with a man named Mr. Charles Sperling. And he wanted us to come in to record with him. And that's how we got into
Yeah.
the King Records.
Yeah.
And all this time you've had your Bootsy Collins Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the foundation kind of came on after, right? A
Yes,
little after.
yes.
'Cause-
But what's happening is the Bootsy Collins Foundation is teaming up with our legacy team, which
Right,
consists of
right.
Kent Butts,
Yeah.
Mr. Otis Williams' son that we talked about,
Yeah.
and a few other people,
Philip Hall.
Mr. Philip Hall,
Yes.
and the mayor of Cincinnati actually has like given myself, Bootsy, Kent Butts, Elliot Ruther, and Marvin Hawkins. We are the team that are going to make sure that the legacy is not lost with King
Yeah.
Records.
Yes.
So we are helping to revive the building, right,
Yes.
Bootsy?
Okay.
Yes.
And it's awesome. So we're going to have a museum. We're going to have a place to perform. We're going to have like a mental health portion of it as well for
Yeah.
musicians.
Yeah.
So we thank our city. We thank our mayor, Mayor Cranley, who has made this happen
Yes.
for the King
Yeah.
Record
Yeah.
building.
It all sounds so fabulous. And I know I've heard about STARS,
Yeah.
which is part of your foundation,
Yes.
with this adorable young girl. You're going to have to tell me how old she is. Emmy Sunshine.
Emmy Sunshine.
Emmy Sunshine.
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 16 now.
She's 16.
But when we recorded the record, she was 15.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out of Nashville. But the
Okay.
song Stars was developed to raise money for MusiCares.
Yeah.
MusiCares is the Grammy Foundation's like a big foundation that
Right.
they do to help musicians during
Yeah.
this COVID time. So Bootsy and I were at the dinner table one night, and he said, you know, I want to do something special. But he said, I want to have a musician or someone that's vibrant and who can sing and who can write. And I wonder who would that be? Then all of a sudden, Emmy Sunshine came in our life.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the rest
Yeah.
is history.
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
was, you know, she was like, she's like a unknown, but at the same time, she needs to be known.
Yeah.
And so that's what I kind of cater to, people that don't get recognized. It's
Yeah.
like, why come these people are not getting recognized? They, you know, if you're talented, you're talented, you know, and, you know, if I can help in any way to get you on a platform so people can see you, that's what I like. I mean, that excites me.
We have a clip here of Emmy. Let's show it.
Oh, wow, awesome.
As people, we're not afraid of nothing. We stand toe to toe and fight. But this battle that we're facing, it's hard to know what's wrong or right. Hiding in the hugs of loved ones, friends and strangers that we meet. Separation is our shield now to keep us strong and on our feet.
That was a wonderful clip and a beautiful little girl. I hope
Yes.
with your help, she really, really is well known someday. I'm sure she will be.
She will
But
be.
Patti, we want to know before we leave, tell us again how to get the album.
Everyone, please go to bootsycollins.com, BOOTSY, Collins.com, and there you will see the album.
Yeah.
Click on the link, and it's yours.
Thank you so much. I wish we had more time, but you have to promise to come back.
Oh,
Promise.
definitely.
Okay, promise.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
All right,
much.
thank you. It's been
Peace and
really
love.
fabulous. You're wonderful, wonderful people.
Peace
Thank
and
you
love.
so much.
Bye.
Love you, baby. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Join us next week for another episode of Showcase with Barbara Kellar, right here on CET.
Are you out there? What's the password?
All with the band.
Oh, that's right. How you doing, buddy? How much you got? How much you gon' get? Funkateers, let's funk with this. How much you got? How much you gon' get? Funkateers, let's funk with this. How much you got? How much you gon' get? Funkateers.